Hari Om, we can hear you, Brahmaraji.
Yeah, maybe my father is not able to hear.
ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्व ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधि साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादम् शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं चैव ततो जयमुदीरयेत् अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ दशमोऽध्यायः विभूतियोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच
Nana, you start chanting. I will share in a minute.
प्रह्लादश्चास्मि दैत्यानां कालकलयतामहं मृगाणां च मृगेन्द्रोऽहं वैनतेयश्च पक्षिणां पवनपवतामस्मि रामशस्त्रभृतामहं झषाणां मकरश्चास्मि श्रोतसामस्मि जाह्नवी सर्गाणामादिरन्तश्च मध्यं चैवाहमर्जुन अध्यात्मविद्या विद्यानां वादप्रवदतामहम् अक्षराणाम् अकारोऽस्मि द्वन्द्वः सामासिकस्य च अहमेवाक्षयः कालो धाताहं विश्वतो मुखः मृत्युः सर्वहरश्चाहम् उद्भवस्य भविष्यताम् कीर्तिश्रीर्वाक्यनारीणां स्मृतिर्मेधा धृतिक्षमा बृहत्साम तथा साम्नां गायत्री छन्दसामहं मासानां मार्गशीर्षोऽहं ऋतूनां कुसुमाकरः ज्योतं छलयतामस्मि तेजस्तेजस्विनामहं जयोऽस्मि व्यवसायोऽस्मि सत्वं सत्त्ववतामहं वृष्णीनां वासुदेवोऽस्मि पाण्डवानां धनञ्जयः मुनीनामप्यहं व्यासः कवीनाम् उशना कविः दण्डो दमयतामस्मि नीतिरस्मि जिगीषताम् मौनं चैवास्मि गुह्यानां ज्ञानं ज्ञानवतामहम् यच्चापि सर्वभूतानां बीजं तदहमर्जुन न तदस्ति विना यत् मया भूतं चराचरम् नान्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तप एष तु देशतः प्रोक्तः विभूतेर्विस्तरो मया यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमदूर्जितमेव वा tattadeva avagachyatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Yeah. Can you get back to the 38th verse? Dando damayatamasmi nitirasmi jigishatam maunam chaivasmi guhyanam jnanam jnanavatamaham. I am the discipline of those who enforce discipline. I am justice of those who want success, and I am silence amongst the secrets of those who have knowledge. I am the knowledge. Of those who have knowledge, I am their knowledge. Can you shift this Tatparya up? Yeah. Of those who have knowledge, I am that knowledge. This we have covered. Yesterday, in yesterday's discussion, any doubts, please? Yeah. If you don't have any doubts, I have two clarifications to give.
Yeah.
The Rishi who married that princess Satyavati, that is Vishwamitra's elder sister, the name of the Rishi is Ruchika. Ruchika married Satyavati, who is the daughter of Gadhi. And later on, Vishwamitra was born. So Vishwamitra is the younger brother-in-law of Ruchika. Ruchika's son was Yamadagni, whose out of the four sons, Parshurama was the youngest. And he is the one who has eliminated the Kshatriyas 21 times with his prowess. Now, another clarification I wanted to give. We said regarding the Chandas, the claim was, Bhagavan's claim was, Gayatri Chandasamaham. I am the glorious Gayatri. And Gayatri mantra, it has 24 syllables, and each syllable is a kind of an explosion of the Ramayana. Every 1,000 verses will start with one syllabus. Okay? Now, one not syllabus, one letter, etc. Okay? Now here, the Ramayana has started with Ta. Ta is the first letter of the Gayatri mantra. Ramayana has started in the Balakanda, the first sarga, which happens to be the Sankshipta Ramayana as told by Narada Muni to Valmiki Maharshi. Tapasvajjhaya niratam tapasvi vagvidam varaha Naradam pariprapracha Valmikir Muni Pungavam. Tapasvajjhaya niratam. And Narada, the first line is for Narada. Tapasvajjhaya niratam. Niratam always, tapaha and svajjhaya. He is wedded to these two. Svajjhaya is self-study. Tapaha, always contemplating. Tapasvajjhaya niratam. Tapasvi, and he is a tapasvi. Tapasvi, Vagvidam Varaha. He is the one gifted in conveying any message to anybody. Vagvidam Varaha. Naradam, that kind of a person, Naradam. Pariprapracha Valmikir Muni Pungavam. Valmiki Rishi has questioned Narada. Naradam Pariprapracha Valmikir Muni Pungavam. Then like that, the 1001th verse starts with the next syllable. Okay? That is how the 24,000 verses of Ramayana have been composed by Valmiki Maharshi. Yeah. No doubts means I will go forward.
There is one doubt we had.
I'm the discipline of those who enforce
Nanna?
discipline. I'm
Nanna,
justice
can you
of those
hear?
who want success. and I am silence amongst the secrets of those who have knowledge. I am that knowledge. Buddhir buddhimatam asmi, tejas tejasvinamaham, etc. Now, can you shift this next verse, please? Yeah, there is a question. Okay, pose that. Please raise the question.
Nana, are you able to hear?
Oh,
Yeah, thank you.
yeah. 1 minute. Yes, my apologies. I forgot.
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. Hari Om. There is a
Now I
question
am
regarding. You can hear now?
Now, what is the question?
Yeah, you can hear me now? Can you hear?
Okay. This 39th verse says, Echapi sarvabhutanam bijam tadaham arjuna natadasti vinayasyat maya bhutam characharam. These are the concluding verses, some 3 verses which are concluding. Yaticha api bijam. Whatever is the cause, whatever is the cause for whatever that is manifest in the creation. Sarva Bhutanam. The question is regarding creation. Okay. Out with the question, please. Or after this verse is over, you can raise the question. We will
Okay,
cover
you're
that.
not able to hear
Yatika
Nana
api
for some reason.
Sarva Bhutanam. Of all beings and things in the Jagat. Tat aham. I am that. Hey Arjuna. Na tat asti. There is none. Bhutam chara acharam. Mobile or immobile. Sthavaram yangamam yaptam. Yatkinchit sacharacharam. Ahameva asmi. Okay? Mobile or immobile. Sentient or insentient thing. Yat syat. Whatever that can exist. That exists. Maya vina. No, there is no way that they can exist without me. Okay? Maya vina. And Arjuna, I am also that which is the cause of all things. There is no mobile or immobile, sentient or insentient thing which can exist without me. Nantosti mama divyanam vibhutinam parantapa. Esha tute sheta prokto vibhuter vistaro maya. Okay. Yeah, let's go to the 41st verse. Then we will take up that question. Hey Arjuna, I am also that which is the cause of all things. There is no mobile or immobile, sentient or insentient thing which can exist without me. Is it not true? When you go back to the origin of creation, what is the origin of creation? Brahmashraya, Sattva Rajastamo Gunatmika, Maya Asti. Tataha Jagat Sambhutaha. From that Maya, this entire Jagat has come about. And when the entire Jagat has come about, which abounds in mobile and immobile, sentient and insentient thing, is there anything that is without the participation of Maya? And Maya is entirely dependent on Brahma. Brahmashraya. Brahmashraya Maya. Yeah, I'm not able to hear you. Okay. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe my speaker audio is low. Yeah, I'm okay now.
Can you hear me now, Hari Om?
Yeah, Hari Om.
You can hear, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
thank
okay.
you. Thank you.
My
Let me
speaker
know when
volume
I
was
can ask you the question.
okay. नान्तोऽस्ति मम दिव्यानां विभूतीनां परन्तप एष तोद्देश्यतः प्रोक्तो विभूतेर्विस्तरो मया. Hey Parantapa, hey sculptor of enemies Arjuna, Mama Divyanam Vibhutinam, my divine Vibhutis, the glories. Na Antaha Asti, there's no end to this. Everything that is in the Jagat is because of me. When such is the case, the glory of everything is because of me. And how can I keep on enumerating? No book will be sufficient and no time will be sufficient for that. Because Jagat is the entire Vishwam. Na Antaha Asti. But Yevaha Vibhutehe Vistaraha, this detailed narration of my glories, Maya by me, Uddeshataha, taking into account a few important ones, Proktaha, and he said in the beginning itself, Bhagavan, Hamtate Kadayishyami Divya Shatma Vibhutayaha. He said that. Hamtate, okay, all right. Now that you are insisting, Arjuna, I will mention a few of the vibhutis. Pradhanyata kuru sreshta naschanto vistarashyame. That is in the beginning of Bhagavan's exposition of the vibhutis of himself. There's no end to my extraordinary glories, Arjuna. But this detailed narration was told by me, taking into account a few important ones. Yajyadvibhutimatsatvam Srimadurjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. Yat, whatever, vibhutim Sattvam, existent thing that has glory. Anything that has glory. Actually, anything that does not have even glory. Everything in the Jagat is because of me. It is because of my glory that the glorious is glittering. The not so glorious is not glittering. But both are because of me. Okay? Shrimat, that which has any form of wealth or value. Shrimat. Okay? Urjitam yevava. Urjitam means anything that is like a Uttama Purusha, okay, a nobility, some great quality, which is indeed distinguished and mighty. Tat eva, that and that alone, mama tejomsha sambhavam. It is born out of a fraction of my glory. Fraction means amsha. Amsha can be 1/100th of me, 1,000th of me, 1,000,000th of me. Okay? Mama teja amsha sambhavam. Avagachatvam. Please understand. Please understand that whatever existent thing there is, which has glory, which is endowed with any form of wealth, or that which is distinguished or mighty, every one of that, you please know, is born out of my tejaha amshaha, born out of a fraction of my glory. Okay? This is the 41st verse, is it? Yeah. Tejomsha sambhavam. Now, can we go through the question before we go to the 42nd verse?
Yeah, Hariom, you can hear me now, Nana? Yeah. The question was regarding, Mrinal had this question. This is regarding the evolution of creation. Are our ragas and dveshas instrumental in the evolution?
Ragas and dveshas are instrumental in the evolution.
Yeah. That is,
ragas and dveshas?
The person concerned, based on what he decides in this.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. The person concerned is not the creator. If you are talking of person A, Person A has ragas, dveshas, yes, but he is not the creator. So how can a non-creator participate in the creation?
No, in his own evolution, not creation per se. In his own evolution, like this Jada Bharata, he was thinking of the deer. His raga was so much into the deer. He was born as a deer, isn't it? So can you throw some light on, with this in mind, whether how creation actually came into being? Is it like that Jagapat or Yugapat
Okay.
where everything
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
together at once, or did we
Yeah.
evolve from a lower being to a higher being?
Yeah.
In which case, yeah,
I got the
that's
gist
it.
of your question.
Yeah.
See, Bhagavan has manifested himself as the Jagat. Okay? Not manifested himself in the Jagat. Manifested himself as the Jagat. And in the Jagat, you and I are. And we have ragas and dveshas. Before we were created by Bhagavan, in accordance with our samskaras, which will also include the ragas and dveshas, we have been created. We carry those forward. In our new Janma, we of course will have those ragas and dveshas, which are required to be exhausted by expressing themselves. There is no other way. Like that Jada Bharata, who became a deer because of his his love for the dear sibling, okay, dear sibling, and he has taken good care of that. And at the time of his passing away, the deer, the thought of the deer was in his mind. When the thought of the deer is in his mind, in the Akshara Brahma Yoga, what was mentioned? अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यः प्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः. Antakale cha. Even at the time of the departure, leaving this mortal body here, okay, mameva smaran, thinking of me alone, then he will attain to me. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, whatever bhavam smaran, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam, chajatyante kalevaram, chajati ante kalevaram. Ante, at the end, when somebody leaves this mortal body, this soul sharira, yam yam vapi smaran, whatever thought he entertains at the time of leaving the body, tam tameva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. And he will be forced to become that based on tadbhava bhavitaha. That is how the Jada Bharata has become a deer. And because of the Purva-janma samskara he had, good samskaras, he went on frequenting the Rishi ashramas. And as though he was listening to all their discussions, and finally he leaves the deer body, becomes a man again. And this man has become the Jada Bharata. He does not talk, he does not respond, because he was worried. As Rishi earlier, he took pity on the deer and he became a deer because he went on thinking about deer at the time of his death. So he was afraid. He became Jada Bharata. That is how the story goes. Yeah, now is that adequate answer to your question? Your question was not very clear to me.
Mrinal, are you there? So yesterday we were discussing in our Atmabodh Manana, there was this thing about ragas and raga dvecha, the sankulam. When we were doing that, there was this question that she had raised, as in the evolution, our Is it because of our ragas and dveshas that we are
What
evolving?
What do you mean by evolution? What is that evolution?
It is one way that I have understood. I don't know whether she's there. Rinal, if you're there, you can clarify your question. One thing from my angle, my perspective, it is said that we take the human form after some 84,000 births. One aspect, isn't it? So in every birth, are we evolving higher up the scale based on what kind of ragas and dveshas we have? That is, for instance, this group of us who has this, I wouldn't call it raga, but with this intention to come on the Zoom meeting and then do satsang and all that.
Brahmara, what we can do?
Yeah.
Apparently, that lady Mrunal is not there. Granting that she is likely to be there tomorrow, can we take up this question tomorrow?
Okay, no problem.
We will get it from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Okay?
I wanted one clarification as to how the creation has happened. That is, in Swamiji's PDF, he had mentioned 3 ways. One was, I think, Yugapat, if I'm not mistaken, where all the beings came in at once. It is not like an evolution. The second was the Hiranyagarbha concept. And the third, I'm not very sure. So I thought maybe if you could throw some light, but we'll do this tomorrow, no problem.
Yeah, we see the creation all at once. Yeah, that is Yugapat.
Okay. Yeah.
Simultaneously, all things are
manifest together.
Kind of manifested from Avyaktam. From Avyaktam. Again in the 8th chapter, this is mentioned. Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Ahaha Yat Brahmano Viduho Ratrim Yuga Sahasrantam Teho Ratra Vido Janaha Avyaktat Vyaktayaha Sarve. From Avyaktam Vyaktayaha Sarve. Everything will become manifest. Prabhavanchi Haragame. All those things. That Yugapata means this. Simultaneously, all those things have come about. It's not one after the other, not one after the other. No. Yugapatu means simultaneously. Okay? The second one you mentioned is what?
Hiranyagarbha, the concept of that is what is mentioned.
Hiranyagarbha is creator Brahmaji.
Okay.
Creator Brahmaji is the Hiranyagarbha. Okay? The third one, I don't know what you mentioned.
Third one, I don't know also. I can't remember what Swamiji had mentioned. But then they say we've got this human life after 84,000 births. That is why it is so precious. That is, we've evolved from earlier, from lower creatures up until the human. So that is one perspective. So that is kind of confusing.
Wait a minute. Here I got a little advice. Why do we have to worry about the 84 lakhs of jivas and things like that? We must be very, very happy. We have become men in this world. Okay? Men means women also. Manushya Sharira I have got. Why do I have to worry about what I was in this 84 lakhs, jivas? Did I evolve? How is it that going to help you? Why are you entertaining these kind of funny questions? I'm sorry I'm saying this. How does it help you going forward? You are one of those 84 lakhs or 84, crore jiva rasis. Granted. But did I evolve from there? How does that answer help you? You of course evolved from there. What was I in the previous birth? I won't know. Only Bhagavan knows. Bahuni me vyatitani janmani tava charjuna tanyaham veda sarvani natvam veda parantapa. You do not know. I know all those janmas. So if I have a doubt regarding what I was in the previous janma, we have to consult Bhagavan. But that doesn't help us. Going forward, how does it help? Ajnanant kalusham jivam jnanabhyasat vinirmalam. Atmabodha is saying. So jnana abhyasa, that is the most important thing we have to take up. Jnana abhyasat vinirmalam. My request to all of you is, please do not entertain very frivolous questions and spoil your time. That is not manana. That is a wasteful pursuit of, useful time being thrown away. That's my advice. Okay. Now I'm getting back to the verse. Whatever existent thing there is, which has glory, which is Brahmaraj. Tomorrow, day after, whenever that lady comes along, you please raise this question. We will attend to that.
No problem. She's actually there, but I don't know whether she's. I can see her, but it doesn't matter. We'll take it up next time.
Okay,
no
we'll leave it at that now. Whatever existing thing there is, which has glory, which is endowed with any form of wealth, or that which is distinguished or mighty, every one of that, may you know, is born of a fraction of my glory. Now look at it this way. The Jadabharata, when he became Jadabharata, after the incarnation as deer, in the next Janma he became a man. He is called Jadabharata. Jada means he is insentient. He does not respond. He does not talk. He is a dumb fellow. That kind of a title he has obtained. Now, he is not that Bhagavan's glory. Is not that Bhagavan's glory to be quiet, to behave as though you are dumb and deaf, to behave as though you do not know anything, though you know everything. Is it not Bhagavan's glory? So what I am saying is, this is for the sake of the questioner Arjuna, to satisfy his desire to know the vibhutis. Bhagavan has narrated all these things. Whatever glory is there, that is mine. Whatever is not there also is mine. Apparently it is not there, but everything is my glory. The entire Jivarasi in the Jagat is entirely because of my glory. I am in them. I am in them all the time. So that is because of a fraction of my glory. Yeah, can we go to 42nd verse? Athava bahunahithena kim jnatena tavarjuna vishtabhyahamidam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. This is the last verse. Okay, Charama Sloka of the Vibhuti Yoga. Athava. Okay, on the other hand, hey, Arjuna, bahuna yetena jnatena, by your acquisition of this kind of a knowledge, by the knowledge of manifold things of my glories, kim tava Arjuna, what is obtained by you, what is accomplished by you, Arjuna? Vishtabhyahamidam krishnam ekamshena sthito jagat. Vishtabhya, pervading, idam krishnam jagat. This entire jagat. This entire jagat includes what? That which has glory, that which does not have glory also, is entire jagat. Eka amshena, by one just part of me, eka amshena, aham sthitaha, I remain, everything is me, everything is me. The fragrant flower, the glory is me. The very sweet mango, the sweetness is me. And the taste-giving quality of water is me. Rasoham apsakonteya prabha asmi shashi suryayoho pranavat sarva vedeshu. Any Veda mantra, you will start with Om only. And that Om I am. Pranavat sarva vedeshu. and Shabdha Paurusham Rishu. I am the Shabda. I am the quality of Shabda in the Akasha. And Paurusham Rishu amongst men. I am the Purusha Swabhavaha. On the other hand, by this knowledge of many things, what is accomplished for you, Arjuna? I remain pervading this entire world with one part of myself. Om Tat Sat Iti Sriman Mahabharate Shatasahasrikayam Samhitayam Vayasikhyam Srimad Bhishma Parvani Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vibhuti Yogo Nama Dashamodhyayah अथ एकादशोऽध्यायः विश्वरूपदर्शनयोगः. Incidentally, this chapter is mentioned in different books slightly differently. Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga, Vishwarupa Sandarshana Yoga also is mentioned. Both are okay. Arjuna Uvacha Madanugrahaya Paramam Guhyamadhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mohoyam Vigato Mama. We'll get back to this chapter after we have chanted the Gita Mahatyam. Alright? Yeah. Adha Shri Gita Mahatyam Dharovacha Bhagavan Parameshana Bhaktiravyavicharini Prarabdam Bhujyamanasya Kadam Bhavati He Prabho. Shri Vishnuruvacha Prarabdam Bhujyamanopi Gitabhyasarata Sada Samukta Sasuki Loke Karmana Nopalipyate Mahapapadipapani Gitadhyanam karoti chet Kvacisparsham na kurvanti Nalinidalamam bhavat. Gitaya pustakam yatra Yatra patha pravartate Tatra sarvani tirthani Yagadini tatra vaye. Sarve devascha rishayah Yogina pannagashchaye Gopala gopika vapi Naradodhava parshadaihi Sahayo jayate shigram Yatra gita pravartate Yatra gita vicharascha Patanam patanam shrutam Tatraham nishchitam prudvi Nivasami sadaivahi Gita Shreyeham Tishtami Gita Me Chottamam Gruham Gita Jnanamupashritya Trilokan Palayamyaham Gita Me Parama Vidya Brahma Rupana Samshayaha Ardhamatraksharani Cha Swanirvacha Padatmika Chidanandena Krishnena Prokta Swamukatorjunam Vedatrayi Parananda Tattvardhajnanamanjasa Yoshtadasha Jape Nityam Naro Nischala Manasaha Jnana Siddhim Salabhate Tato Yati Param Padam Pate Samadha Sampurne Tadaddham Patamacharet Tada Godanayam Punyam Labhate Natra Samshayaha Tribhagam Patamanastu Ganga Snana Phalam Labhet Shadamsham Japamanastu Somayaga Phalam Labhet Ekadhyayam Tuyo Nityam Patate Bhakti Samyutaha Rudra Lokamavapnoti Gano Bhutva Vasechiram Adhyaya Shlokapadam Va Nityam Yah Patate Naraha Sayati Naratam Yavana Manukalam Vasundhare. Gitaya Shloka Dashakam Sapta Pancha Chatushtayam Do Trim Ekam Tadaddham Va श्लोकानां यः पठेन्नरः चन्द्रलोकमवाप्नोति वर्षाणामयुतं ध्रुवम् गीतापाठः समायुक्तो मृतो मानुषतां व्रजेत् गीताभ्यासं पुनः कृत्वा लभते मुक्तिमुत्तमाम् गीतेच्युच्चारसंयुक्तो म्रियमाणो गतिं लभेत् गीतार्थश्रवणासक्तो महापापयुतोऽपि वा वैकुण्ठं समवाप्नोति विष्णुना सह मोदते गीतार्थं ध्यायते नित्यं कृत्वा कर्माणि भूरिशः जीवन्मुक्तः स विज्ञेयो देहान्ते परमं पदम् गीतामाश्रित्य बहवः भूभुजो जनकादयः निर्धूतकल्मषा लोके गीतायातः परं पदम् गीतायाः पठनं कृत्वा माहात्म्यं नैव यः पठेत् वृथा पाठो भवेत् तस्य श्रम एव क्षुधाहृतः एतन्माहात्म्यसंयुक्तं गीताभ्यासं करोति यः स तत्फलमवाप्नोति दुर्लभां गतिमाप्नुयात् सूत उवाच माहात्म्यमेतद्गीताया मया प्रोक्तं सनातनं गीतान्ते च पठेद्यस्तु यदुक्तं तत्फलं लभेत् ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीवराहपुराणे गीतामाहात्म्यं सम्पूर्णम् I will run through the smaller Gita Mahatmyam also, which is a lot of input for all of us. Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yapatet Prayata Puman Vishnu Padamavapnoti Bhayashokadi Varjitaha Gita Jayana Shilasya Pranayama Parasya Cha Naiva Santihi Papani Purva Janma Krutani Cha Malanidmochanam Pumsam Jalasnanam dine dine Sakrudgitamvasi snanam samsaramalanashanam Gita sugita kartavya kimanyai shastra vistaraihi ya swayam padmanabhasya mukha padmadvinishrutaha bharatamrita sarvasvam vishnoho vaktradvinishrutam Gita gangodakam pitva पुनर्जन्मन विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा Om Tat Sat. Now, the most important thing about the Vibhuti Yoga is what? What is the Hitavakyam through the Vibhuti Yoga? What is Yat Shreyaha, Yat Hitaha for all of us? What is very beneficial from the Vibhuti Yoga?
That he is there in and through creation.
Correct. In and through creation. Nextly, our greatest defect is jealousy. This jealousy, it is baseless. It is without any founding, without any cause, you become jealous. Okay? If the neighbor you are very pally with, you are very friendly with, if suddenly the neighbor acquires something which you do not have, okay, he acquires a good music system which you were thinking of acquiring, you could not. You become jealous of that neighbor whom you were very happily conversing with day in and day out in a very loving manner. You become jealous of that person. Now Vibhuti Yoga tells you, hey, that music system, that glory of that is I, Bhagavan. Bhagavan is saying, anything that is glorious, I am there. It is because of me. It is my glory. If somebody you come across, he talks as though he knows quite a lot. That knowledge is I. That knowledge is I. So when you have this kind of a bhavana, that anything that is great, Bhagavan's presence is there. And you are seeing Bhagavan, not that person who is great. When you are seeing Bhagavan, is it not an upasana marga for you? Is it not a bhakti marga for you? Is it not for you to develop yourself adequately in the direction of Atma Vidya? That is the greatness of Vibhuti Yoga. You will get rid of jealousy like like anybody's business. No jealousy at all. Every glory you see in any person, anything that is very brilliant, anything that is very having a lot of knowledge, everything that is very bright, you see Bhagavan. When you are seeing Bhagavan, your bhakti bhavana only will be enhanced and jealousy has no place. That is the greatest benefit through the Vibhuti Yoga. The greatest benefit is through Vibhuti Yoga is you will simply get rid of jealousy, provided you understood Vibhuti Yoga rightly, in the right perspective. Yajyat vibhuti matsatvam srimadurjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejamsha sambhavam. It is because of my teja amsha. Anything that is great, anything that is brilliant, anything that is knowledgeable, anything that is desirable, everything is because of me. It is my glory. When Bhagavan is mentioning that, Bhagavan's presence is adequately proclaimed. And when Bhagavan's presence is proclaimed, you must see Bhagavan only in that greatness and the glorious thing that you see in anything or in any person. It is Bhagavan. Bhagavad Darshanam Eva. Where is the place for jealousy? That is the greatest hitam that we will have through the proper understanding of the Vibhuti Yoga. Okay? Now can we cover one or two verses from the Vishwarupa Darshana Yoga?
Sure, Nana, 1 minute.
Or any doubts are there on this chapter? Yeah, correct. Arjuna Vavacha. Arjuna said, Madanagrahaya paramam guhyam adhyatma sangitam yatvayoktam vachastena mohoyam vigato mama. Brahmara, can you give a higher font? Yeah. Oh, it's going out. Yeah, that's okay. Can you shift it to the left a little? Or maybe reduce the font a little? Left. A little more. Because some text is hidden. You reduce the font from that 188 to maybe 150 or so. That's all right. That's okay. Good. Leave it. Arjuna Vacha. Arjuna said. Arjuna was silent after he has mentioned a few verses in praise of the Lord and requested Bhagavan to please mention his vibhutis, where all keshu cha bhaveshu chinchosi bhagavanmaya vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuyaha kathaya truptirhi nasti mehmratam. Even though listening to you, I do not have adequate trupti. Please say it again. Then that is what, after having said all that, and Bhagavan said, Hantate kadayishyami, and he has elaborated some of his vibhutis very nicely. Now Arjuna is as though thanking Bhagavan. Madanugrahaya paramam guhyam Adhyatma Sangitam Yatvayoktam Vachastena Mama Moham Vigataha. Mama Moho I am this mohaha of mind Vigataha is as though taken care, it has gone. Arjuna Vavacha Madanagrahaya to bless me. Paramam Guhyam, the greatest secret, Adhyatma Sangitam, it is known as the Atma Vidya, centered on the self, Atma Vidya. Yat Tvaya, Yat Vachaha Tvaya Uktam, whatever words you have really taught, educated me, Tena, because of those words, Mama Mohaha Ayam, this delusion of mine is Vigataha, is Visheshena Gataha, is completely gone. This is only an emotional Arjuna in praise of Bhagavan's elaboration of the vibhutis of himself. This is an emotional thanksgiving, I would say. Because if the mohaha has vigataha, mohaha vigataha, he should not be deluded again. But he was deluded. After the end of the 18th chapter, when Arjuna says, Nashto mohaha. Why is he saying Nashto mohaha? Here he said, Vigataha mama mohaha. And why does he have to wait for some 7 more chapters or 8 more chapters to say Nashto mohaha? What is that? And even after having said that, he has taken to arms and he has started fighting the enemy. And when his son Abhimanyu was killed by the combined forces of Kauravas, which is against the rule in those days, he was quite a bit annoyed and he vowed to eliminate that Jayadratha, who was the cause for the demise of Abhimanyu. Then what happened to this mohaha? Nashto mohaha. Ayam mohaha vigataha. These are all emotional sayings which will not have any essential reality. We should understand that. Okay? This is the dialogue. This is a beautiful dialogue between Arjuna and Bhagavan Krishna. And whatever Bhagavan said, he was so elated and he is thanking him. Mohoyam vegato mama. On account of these words, which were taught by you in order to bless me with the greatest secret known. That what is the greatest secret? I do not know who I am. And you are as you giving me the knowledge to know who I am. Knowledge centered on the self. That is Adhyatma Sangitam. This delusion of mine is gone. Okay? Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tvatta kamala patraksha mahapyamapi chavyayam. Bhava apyayo hi. Bhava means what? Nasato vijyate bhavaha na bhavo vijyate sataha. That bhava is what? Bhava
Creation.
is creation. Bhava apyayo, it is the opposite. That is laya. Bhava apyayo hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya. Heard by me in a very extensive manner. Bhava apyayo hi. Indeed, the creation and the laya, the dissolution, bhutanam, of things and beings, shrutau, have been heard by me, have been taught by you and heard by me, vistarashaha, in detail, extensively, maya, by me, tattaha, from you, kamalapatraksha, he who has the eyes which are having the form of the lotus petal, kamalapatraksha. And this kamalapatraksha, throughout the Sanatana Dharma literature, this kamalapatraksha or padmaksha, all these things are mentioned both for man and woman, no matter what deity, man and woman, it is mentioned. This is some very, very common thing in all the literature. Bhavapyayo hi bhutanam shrutau vistarasho maya tatta kamalapatraksha mahatyam apicha avyayam. Avyayam. Avyayam, that what has been coming perennially. Avyayam, avyayam mahatyam api. And also your perennial glory was heard. You have enumerated all those things. Indeed, the creation and dissolution of things have been heard in detail by me from you. Hey Krishna, whose eyes are like the lotus petal, and also your perennial glory was heard. We will continue tomorrow. Okay? That lady Mrinalini's doubt also we will take up tomorrow. Okay? Yeah, please do not mistake me. Please do not, none of you mistake me for having given that advice not to entertain some questions which are of no importance to you for your growth in the Adhyatma Vidya. That is important. Whatever question, whatever doubt you have, it must have some relevance to what you are striving for. What you are striving for must have some usefulness in your questioning also. Okay. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om, everybody.
Hari Om, Nana.
Hari Om.
धन्यवाद. हरिओम नाना जी.
Jai Gurudev. We can all internalize all that we have listened to and come up with our share. Jai Gurudev. The most important import of the Vibhuti Yoga is that of is so that we can get rid of our jealousy. Today I understood why Bhagwan was focusing only on the positive aspects and the glories. Although he is in and through creation, the whole of creation is from him. And he is there, exists in all the pairs of opposites. But he has chosen, in order of importance, to give only those glories. It's because only with glories, if the next person has some has some glory or has some virtue, that it triggers jealousy. And with that starts the whole train of negative tendencies. The desire, then the delusion, then anger, all of that happens if with that little bit of that trigger of jealousy. So in order to redeem us of that, in order for us to understand that any glory anywhere in the universe, whether it is mine or somebody else's, or just in creation, it is all his grace, it is all his vibhuti. So number one, when you look at your neighbor who has something and you don't have, your jealousy is not there, that is taken care of. Second, your own greatness, your own achievements, instead of increasing your vanity and ego, it will keep you humble, it will keep you grounded, because you know it is his glory. So both ways, the Vibhuti Yoga is so beautiful, giving us that the wide spectrum of his glory, starting from Ayamatma Gudakesha, starting from the fact that he is the Atma in everybody. And every species he is named something or the other. And then he says, initially he says, my glories are limitless. No amount of describing them will complete the whole list. Even so, I'm giving you those in order of importance. Yeah. Everybody also share this.
So, my takeaway is like we need to come out of this limitedness of our own thinking, like this vibhuti is one, and to recognize that glory in every in it said like immobile or mobile things, all the things is there. So, and then the other part is like you said, getting rid of the jealousy or the negative aspect of it, knowing that he is everything, Bhagavan is everything. So he's there for us. So that you don't have to have this competition or worrying about your own limitedness comparing with other person or something like that. Excuse me. And also by knowing the glories of Bhagavan, you develop that devotion, that it makes you feel more, united with the Bhagavan, like to worship or do whatever that I would say, what I don't know, we can say attached, but I put it in Tamil, like you're more in, in thinking about him all the time or doing sattvic type of, uh, reading or chanting or whatever that comes to, thinking of him.
Another aspect of Arjuna is that he says, Mohoyam Vigato Maya, that is the beginning of 11th chapter, of course, but several times he says, I have you've cleared my moha. But actually speaking, although he received the whole of Bhagavad Gita directly from Bhagavan, the power of this moha is such that when his son Abhimanyu was killed, he was again overcome by a lot of grief, and he vowed that he will kill Jayadratha. So, which means, I mean, that he thought the moha was gone, but the moha was not actually gone. It was only at a mental level. So that also points out to how we have to root this out from the very roots, rather than, see, as long as we are in this session, sattva is high and you feel very nice and uplifted. But after this session, when we again go back into our daily interactions, unless we are aware, the base tendencies might just show up. So that is where again the viveka should continue, the vairagya, viveka, all of that. Just being aware of what is happening. That will ensure that we don't keep getting caught back in this quagmire of delusion. Whereas it's very easy for us to slip back. And that's why people say, oh, you're listening to so much and still you're doing this. So it must be all our experience. Several times, you'll say, oh, you're doing so much of yoga and meditation and still you're doing this, or still you're saying this. So all that is okay. I mean, we are not all Maharshis. We don't become enlightened overnight. It's all work in progress. Nothing to feel dejected about, but it's only about being aware and being sensitive to this
But
part.
Deep,
Yeah.
one thing I've seen, this more thing, for children doesn't go out completely. Sometimes it comes back,
Mm. You mean with regards children, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Anybody else, yes, I agree. But with children, I'm talking about myself.
Right.
It doesn't completely go away, even if how much knowledge we may or we have changed over the years. With children, it's difficult for me to. I don't know. Maybe it has become less, but completely eradicating is not possible for me. I don't know.
Yeah. I think even there it is degrees of mamakara. If you look at Dhritarashtra, how much of he has dense mamakara. He so dense that he could not see reason. He was given the whole of Bhagavad Gita, but still he was deluded. Whereas Arjuna's delusion was thinned out. He was upset, yes, but he only took revenge. He said he did that, he took that vow. So I think it's a degree. It's even our ajnana, even ignorance. Any of these negative tendencies, it's a spectrum, I suppose. It's from very thick and dense to thinning out. So,
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah.
No, it has become very less, but completely eradicating, I think, is not.
Only that knowledge can clear
I
even
think
that.
it is with time only that we are still evolving, no? And there's an a verse in this chapter only, no? Shanai in chapter 6.
Yeah.
Shanai Ruparamed, that
Udhyagrit.
it is a very slow process. Like what I feel for myself, initially I was like I was very emotional, very much caring for everyone, but now my attitude has changed. Like it is that what is required, I do that. I don't go after people. I just do my part and I just leave. Even if I have to say something, I'll always be brief and precise, and I will not repeat it again and again. So that shift has happened with time only. I think it is that subtle changes happen when you are on this path. It will happen with all of us. But definitely, I felt that shift happening, because I was such a person that if anyone would say a single thing, my tears were just on the verge of my this. They start rolling down. I was so emotional. So from this time, like I am 55 now. So this path I am following since I was 41, 42, when I joined the Art of Living. And initially that was all mechanical, and we were in ignorance basically, but it happened very slowly. Even big problems of children, I just surrender it to him, because I can't do anything. That is their own journey. They are on their own journey, their own karma, their destiny. So what I have in my hand is just to prayer. So I just take it that way, and I then just leave it. If they have to suffer, then they will not follow your advice. And if the suffering has to end, then they will catch up on your words and they will follow it. So it's all the khel of that play of the Maya, and of course the destiny with which a person is born. So I think we should more focus on our spiritual growth rather than getting involved in the materialistic or around, like it is said that you only do what is required from you. Don't go overboard. Sometimes when you go overboard, you harm yourself rather. Yeah. Thank you.
Very true. What you've said is beautiful. At the same time, we should not forget that we as parents have our responsibility towards our children. One thing is, of course, not getting entangled in that relationship, which is good. It will give you that thing. But that does not mean we will shirk from our responsibilities, which is what Bhagwan has been telling Arjuna. Right? So he says, do your karma, your in the Kurukshetra that you have, your duty you have to do, because only you are there for each of us, for our children. We are the caretakers. So it is our responsibility to ensure that they are, we guide them. Of course, we will not nag them. That's a difference. You guide them and then leave it. Educate and ignore. But that part we will have to do. So I think it's a fine balance between Shreyas and prayers, if I may say that. Prayers, I don't mean we're going after material world. I'm not saying that. But with respect to our responsibilities in this Maya Jagat. It's a balance that we have to have, each one of us. Otherwise, it'll be like Arjuna saying, oh, I want to go, I don't want to fight. I want to go to the Himalayas and meditate, which is good. I mean, ultimately, this knowledge is what is going to redeem us. But are we right in relinquishing all that we have to do? No. So I think while doing this, that is why Karma Yoga, for all of us, the path that the thing that we will have to follow is Karma Yoga. And Karma Yoga does not exclude following knowledge. So while doing our karma to the best of our ability, and once you bring in that Karma Yoga aspect, all the attitudes that are included in Karma Yoga, then no matter whether your child succeeds or does not succeed, you've done your bit. But the result is something different from what you had expected. you take it as prasada. So that way you will not move from your equanimity inside.
Yeah, when we listen to Gurudev's Narad Bhakti Sutras, he talks about the distortions of love, how love turns into possessiveness. So, as far as children are concerned, we tend to become very possessive about our children. And then finally, it leads to greed and jealousy, which are the distortions of love. And another thing that he mentions in Narad Bhakti Sutra, Guruji says that in any conflict, are you listening to both sides, the pros and cons of every situation that takes place? Or are you taking it as a one-sided affair? You listen to one party. So is your view more important than the child's view? You know, or are you considering both's view and then allowing them that freedom to do what they like choosing their academic career, etc. Jai Gurudev.
And besides that, I think the failures are very necessary in life. That it is said that they are the steps for the success. So having like you fail, like you see the children, they fail, they in some things which they have to do, but they could not complete, or they have some like they what they had to accomplish, they could not do. So that is the time that they will see back, and they'll see what was the reason that I could not do this. So I think we all want to be successful and happy, but the base is the failure only. When you uh, see that, analyze that what is the reason that I could not succeed, then that time you work upon that, and then next time you will not make a mistake. So I always believe that there should be failures in life, and that will how you will learn to uh, move ahead also, and learn to rectify your mistakes and correct yourself in every aspects, either profession, relation, society, any in any of the ways. So but we have that fear of we always don't want the negative side of anything, we always want the positive side. So that fear persists in our mind, and I think we have to literally push that fear away and accept, accepting as the situation as it is. So then that fear goes away. You just accept it. It is for our good. Maybe some lesson is to be learned, and it is for the benefit of that person. So let it be. It is for the good. I always, I always, this affirmations, these sentences, they keep coming like whenever you face the challenges in life. So I just take it that way, that it is good. It's happened. It is for my good. Thank you.
Yeah, I feel that this is a very correct way of doing it without putting pressure on the child. I really agree with what Savita ji said just now. I was in Raurkela where a girl who was doing the advanced course with me, she came up that she had failed in her 12th standard or so, and 11th or 12th, yeah, 12th standard, and uh, she had to take a break for a year, sort of, to catch up with it and do it. So she would be losing 1 year. But her mother, who was an art of living teacher, was pressurizing her and this and that, and after her back for having failed. This pressure is unnecessary. The girl, when she talked with me, the whole group of girls was there. They were bubbly, chirpy, and they have come up from being doing Art Excel right up till now to advanced course. So they are on the right path. And okay, she failed, and maybe science was not meant for her, but she took it. And then she explained to me. The realization was there when she was talking to me that okay, now if I change, then I lose 2 years. I'll have to go back to first year arts or whatever. So I don't mind studying harder and going through that. So I have lost only 1 year. So she was very practically considering studying harder and doing everything. But when a mother, trying to put her down in front of me or something, and then the child went and told her mother, you need to do the advanced course. And she came up to me asking me, it's like two generations fighting in front of me, happens a lot of times. And I said, yes, everybody you also need to do the advanced course. Gurudev has said that after COVID, everybody should repeat advanced course once in 2 months. Like that, I put her, I just, sort of, I didn't want to say that she needed the advanced course because she was feverish, but I just garb my words properly that everybody has been told to do advanced course after COVID. Like, but that pressure that parents put, no, that breaks down children. That should not happen. Our feverishness, our anxiety, which is there, more than fear, what Savita ji said, I think it is anxiety which is there. And that anxiety is again another distortion of love. I started doing Narad Bhakti Sutras again because I found the same mistakes with me when my son got into an accident. Like why I was so uh, upset with what had happened to him. Like I was disturbed mentally. And when I can go and work for Tsunami and all, that time my mind is calm and cool. So when it came to my own, I realized that this was a shortcoming of mine. So during this Gita Manana and all that, all these things keep coming. And then I keep going back to other scriptures also. And then when I was reading all these distortions of love in Narad Bhakti Sutras, I got my answers like it's the feverishness, the anxiety, the distortions of love that we have for our children. Walking on this path, we may be able to become better and better. We'll be able to evolve, like Dr. Brahmra says. We have that awareness is dawned in us is more than sufficient. And all this knowledge is helping us to grow. So maybe we cannot do away with it, all these distortions of love immediately, but it is there and we are aware. So we have to work on it ourselves. So maybe next time this kind of a situation happens, we are able to deal with it better. Jai Gurudev.
It is the situations basically which make you brave and strong. Until unless you don't, you say ना कि पहाड़ जब तक उसके ऊंट जब तक पहाड़ के नीचे से नहीं जाएगा. So it is that way. Until unless those grievous situations don't fall upon you, you don't learn. This I have observed. Like it happened with me with my child also. Like he was doing his MBBS from JSS, and he was very sharp, but he was very careless. So he used to go to the orthopedics these classes, but he did not the clinical classes, but he did not put his attendance, and because of that he had to give his final exam 6 months ahead. And I requested that HOD of the orthopedic department, but he said, let him learn. As soon as he said those words, my heart became at most peaceful. Like I thought, yeah, this is 6 months would not be a big deal in life. The lesson to be learned is more important. Let him learn. And after that, you will not imagine how alert he has become. Like he has improved. Until unless you don't see your fallacies, you will not improve. So it is not a big deal if you lose something, but you will learn something. So that is more important. We are here to learn and evolve. So it doesn't matter if you lose a year or 6 months. It doesn't matter. I feel so. It is very important to learn the moral and human values. Thank you.
Beautiful sharing. Very nice. So tomorrow we are having Nanna's session. Again, any one of you who has doubts regarding the Vibhuti Yoga or any part of Bhagavad Gita, please put down your questions so that we can utilize the time effectively. And I'm not sure when he will start, but if we're all ready for that, we can. He said he will do the Ramana Maharshi's Vichatvarimshat, those 42 shlokas that Ramana Maharshi has enlisted from the Bhagavad Gita. So that might be the next that we'll have for the next couple of days, maybe. I'm not sure how many days it will take. And I have actually downloaded and put them on. I've downloaded Rajima's Bhagavatam sessions. So I think after we finish this Vichatvarimshat, before we start the 11th chapter, maybe we'll do the Bhagavatam once and then we'll go ahead. So that will be the plan. Anyone wants to share?
Yeah. I just want to say that I got my answer, which I raised yesterday, the question, like positive and negative. I think in the 41st verse, Bhagwan has very beautifully and Nanaji explained so well. So I got the answer that he's there, but it is the glorious aspect in which Bhagwan is there. The powerful, glorious, and the prosperous aspect is his vibhuti. He is pervading in both positive and negative, but he is glorious and powerful in that positivity.
So shall we wind up here today? If anyone wants to share, please do. Otherwise, we'll close for today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.